Caribbean Court of Justice President Justice Winston Anderson rejects accusations of panel fixing and attempting to influence judicial decisions. Country's murder toll climbs as a public works employee dies after being shot while on duty along All Saints Road last month. Trump administration acknowledges receiving letters from Antigua and Barbuda's government requesting a review of visa restrictions on the Twin Island state. And howls of concerns from several employees at Amalgamated Security Services Limited after allegations of victimizations and late payments. The company responds. Those are the major stories this evening. The news in detail starts right now.
The local evening news is brought to you by Nagico, local agents Bryson's Insurance.
Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us for the ABS Evening News on this Friday. I'm Garfield Burford. A special welcome to those joining us online.
Good evening, I'm Nicola Barito. As per the norm, let's dive right into it this evening. The President of the Caribbean Court of Justice has rejected allegations from fellow judges of panel fixing and attempts to influence judgments.
That's our major top story this evening about a detailed response from Justice Winston Anderson following damning allegations in leaked emails from other jurists on the regional court. The complaints were recently chronicled by the Trinidad Express newspaper and range from Justice Anderson unilaterally imposing a judicial dress code to allegations of panel fixing and attempts to influence the outcome of cases. This evening, Justice Anderson acknowledges he may have handled a dispute over a judicial dress code too strongly.
However, as he breaks his silence on the explosive allegations, Justice Anderson is resolute that the court will continue to serve the people of the region with independence, fairness, and integrity.
The President of the Caribbean Court of Justice says recent reports about the court have caused concern, anxiety, and what he describes as profound sadness across the region. He first addressed what he deems is the most troubling issue. He says, quote, "I condemn in the strongest possible terms the unauthorized disclosure and publication of confidential material relating to the internal deliberations and confidential correspondence of the court. Such disclosures and their publication are wholly unacceptable and strike at one of the fundamental principles upon which every independent judiciary depends." End quote. Let's break this down. The CCJ president is addressing these allegations. 1. Consultation. 2. Judicial dress code. 3. Panel composition or panel fixing. 4. Influencing judgments. 5. Guyana. And 6. The court's work during the past year. With reference to the judicial dress code, let's place into context. The CCJ president makes reference to several incidents involving the judicial dress code within the 2025-2026 period. However, he placed focus on the controversy surrounding the removal of a judge from an interlocutory panel in the case of D'Almada versus the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. He says the decision was based solely on the judge's refusal to follow what he describes as established CCJ practice and had nothing to do with the judge's view on the case. He acknowledges that he may have approached the dress code issue too strongly. On the allegation of panel fixing, which the president has strongly rejected, he insists that the composition of panels has always been part of the president's administrative responsibility and has never been used to influence the outcome of a case. He also denies attempting to influence judicial decisions. Going forward, the CCJ president says every CCJ judge will be required to sit on every panel unless the judge has a legitimate reason to opt out and is recused. He proposes broader regional consultation on whether national dress should be permitted in court proceedings. He concludes, I undertake that the court will continue to hear and determine the cases that come before us, to discharge faithfully our responsibilities under the agreement establishing the court and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and to serve the people of this region with independence, fairness, and integrity, deserving of the trust and confidence of the Caribbean people.
Of course, we'll keep across the story and keep you updated as well. In other news this evening, a public works employee shot while on duty along All Saints Road last month has died. The Ministry of Works says heavy equipment operator Omari Philip died at Celeste Bird Medical Center this morning. Philip had remained in hospital since a suspected drive-by shooting on July 14 while he was carrying out his duties. His death comes less than 2 years after he was released from prison following a successful appeal of his murder conviction. Now, that case stemmed from the 2012 armed robbery at Dee's service station, during which attendant Dorothy Prince was shot dead. It was accepted at trial that Dion Thomas fired the fatal shot, but prosecutors argued Philip was jointly responsible for the killing because of his participation in the armed robbery. The Court of Appeal in 2024 found that the jury had not been properly directed on what was required before Philip could be held jointly responsible for Prince's murder. It ruled the murder conviction unsafe, substituted a manslaughter conviction, and reduced his sentence from 25 years to 6 years, 5 months and 13 days. With time already served taken into account, Philip was released in November of 2024. The Ministry of Works is extending condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues, and is urging anyone with information about the July shooting to assist the police in their ongoing investigations.
One of the 3 Parham residents charged following police searches this week has pleaded guilty to cannabis possession, while the charges against a second accused have been withdrawn. The third accused, who faces firearm and ammunition charges, has been remanded until Monday. 40-year-old Harold Joseph pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of 491 grams of cannabis. The charge of unlawful possession of the cannabis with intent to transfer was withdrawn, while Joseph was granted $5,000 bail with 2 sureties. He must report to the Parham Police Station every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and returns to court September 1 for the facts and sentencing. Meanwhile, 33-year-old Kira Mack pleaded not guilty to the charges against her before they were withdrawn. Joseph and Mack had initially been jointly charged after police said 491 grams of cannabis was seized during the search warrant operations in Parham early Wednesday. Atani Brown, who is charged with unlawful possession of a Taurus G2C 9mm semi-automatic pistol and 19 rounds of ammunition, was remanded. He returns to court on Monday to enter a plea. Police had also reported recovering 2 spent 9mm shell casings during the operation. Now, information. Police say the operation is part of a broader intelligence-led strategy to take illegal guns, ammunition, and controlled drugs out of communities and disrupt more serious or organized criminal activities. Authorities are also offering a cash reward for information that leads to the recovery of illegal firearms or ammunition, or to the arrest and successful prosecution of people involved in their possession, use, trafficking, or concealment. And information can be reported to the Criminal Investigations Department at 462-3913 or 462-3914, Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS, or the nearest police station.
In more news from the police blotters, law enforcers say they are yet to receive new leads in the alleged discovery of human remains underwater near to Parham Dock. Now, that's the latest from Police Commissioner Everton Jeffers. Here is more. Commissioner Jeffers tells ABS efforts to contact the Canadian divers who claimed to have discovered the bodies some 3 nautical miles east of Parham Dock were unsuccessful. Police, in conjunction with the Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force, attempted to search the area on the 18th of July this year following a furore on social media, but were unable to find the precise location. Police issued a call for the public's assistance in identifying the location almost a month ago. The Commissioner of Police tells ABS up to Friday, no one has come forward to make an official police report on that matter. Now, if you have any information that could assist investigators, you're being asked to contact the Criminal Investigations Department, the CID, at 462-3913 or 3914, as well as 911, as well as Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS or 800-8477, or speak with any police officer near you.
Police are probing the sudden death of a 63-year-old man whose body was discovered at his home in Grace Hill this morning. The man has been identified as Gregory Gray, and no foul play is suspected at this time. His brother says Gregory had not been feeling well for the past few days.
He just didn't feeling too well for the last couple of days, and he just have a sudden death on us, right? So yes, it's normal. It's a normal death, and it's not nobody murder, not nobody kill him.
Well, Gray was fondly known as the Admiral, and according to his brother, worked as a mason across the country.
In this ABS News update, the United States has acknowledged 2 letters requesting a review of its visa restrictions and visa bond measures affecting Antigua and Barbuda. Here's more this evening. Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Gaston Brown, wrote to President Donald Trump recently seeking a review, followed by a formal diplomatic note from Antigua and Barbuda's ambassador to the United States, Sir Ronald Sanders, to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Now, that diplomatic note has requested an early review of Antigua and Barbuda's inclusion on the list of countries affected by visa restrictions and the U.S. visa bond program. Director General of Communications in the Prime Minister's Office, Maurice Merchant, has more.
Our Washington office has been in close contact with both officials within the White House and the State Department on this matter. They have acknowledged receipt of both communications from the Prime Minister and also to the Secretary of State. And we are just awaiting their responses. And it is a matter that Antigua and Barbuda hopes to keep at the forefront.
Well, he says if they do not receive a response within a reasonable time frame, they will they will follow up, ensuring it is considered a priority to the U.S. administration as it is to Antigua and Barbuda. And now, as we have been reporting, the United States imposed visa restrictions on this country at the beginning of this year after a formal diplomatic or a formal proclamation by the United States White House in December of last year. They've also made permanent the restrictions in relation to the visa bond program, a bond of up to $20,000. Other countries in the region affected by this, making permanent this visa bond initiative are Grenada, Dominica, and Cuba, as well as several other countries around the world. In all, there are about 39 of those countries. Nicola?
In other news, the government is moving to once again toughen enforcement against littering and illegal dumping. The plan includes changes to the 2019 Litter Control and Prevention Act with the aim of making it easier to identify, report, and penalize offenders. While Director General of Communications Maurice Merchant says the government wants to streamline the process for litter wardens to issue tickets and put more wardens on the ground.
The carbon copy of the ticket is not visible to the court, and you decide that you want to make it visible to the court by tracing over your previous handwriting, the court will not accept that. And so the case becomes null and void.
Merchant adds that those who are found guilty could also be publicly identified. While the government also wants to make reporting much easier. And litter wardens are expected to be equipped with phones to document and report offences, with a similar reporting mechanism to be made available to the public.
There are approximately between 6 or 8 of them who operate within St. John. The numbers will be published, so the general public will know whom to call to report illegal dumping.
The Royal Police Force will assist the wardens as enforcement is stepped up. Public education and littering and illegal dumping will continue public education on littering and illegal dumping will continue while bins in St. John's are also set to be replaced.
And the government has approved 3 separate loans totaling $260,000 EC under the Prime Ministerial Entrepreneurial Development Program, the EDP. The 3 beneficiaries are Sandre Williams, Tiffany Azil, and Gennaro Matthias. Well, the update was provided during Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing.
The approvals followed recommendations from the EDP Review Loan Committee and form part of the government's continuing program to provide affordable financing to viable micro, small, and expanding businesses that demonstrate strong growth potential.
Census News now. Enumerators from the National Bureau of Statistics were in the Grace Farm area this morning as the Census Blitz activities continue. The Bureau is seeking to complete the 2025 National Population and Housing Census by the end of this year and continue to urge the public to cooperate as the information gathered is crucial in improving the lives of all citizens and residents. Alicia Humphreys observed their work this morning.
The 2026 census continues as the National Bureau of Statistics ramps up its efforts to get residents to participate.
Yesterday when we went out, who didn't have the time, they told us to come back this morning. So I went back to them this morning and they cooperated very good.
Enumerators say Friday morning's outing was a success and that they are hoping that this compliance continues throughout Antigua and Barbuda.
Nega business is essential to, for the community, for our island, so that we can know what amenities are needed. If we need more health facilities, we need more schools.
The census activity began in 2025 and has been delayed by members of the public refusing to interact with enumerators. The census comprises of approximately 50 questions and the enumerators are presently in the Grace Farm area.
And the quicker you answer our questions, the quicker we will leave you. So please, everybody, just when you see the enumerators come around, just give us a few minutes of your time, and the quicker you answer, the quicker we're gone.
Alicia Humphreys, ABS News.
Alicia, thanks. Now, another legal grouping has condemned comments from Prime Minister the Right Honourable Gaston Brown to deport a member of the judiciary. The latest is the OECS Bar Association, which says the Prime Minister's comments are an affront to the independence of the judiciary, as Alicia George reports.
What began as a national security meeting on Monday to address rising gun crime has developed into a regional debate over the boundaries between government and the courts. Prime Minister the Right Honourable Gaston Brown said he would deport a sitting judge and declare him persona non grata if he continues to receive complaints about lenient sentences for serious crimes.
But man, if you can't follow the lead of the parliament to give longer sentences, leave our country voluntarily, otherwise they're going to deport you.
Since then, legal bodies have been responding, denouncing Brown's comments as a public threat that can undermine the separation of powers. The OECS Bar Association is the latest body to release a statement. It called Brown's comments an affront to independence and integrity of the judiciary. It also described the threat as reckless and unfortunate, saying the reference to the judge as brother man is likewise demeaning, disrespectful, and highly inappropriate. They claim judges may be less willing to sit in Antigua and Barbuda if they believe they could face deportation or be declared persona non grata for their judicial decisions. The OECS Bar Association is also supporting the local bar's call for the threat to be withdrawn. It wants the Prime Minister to assure the public that government will not interfere in the administration of justice. The association has also called on Attorney General Sister Roy Benjamin to intervene and reaffirm the rule of law. Alicia George for ABS News.
Meanwhile, in a response to the Caribbean heads of judiciary yesterday, Prime Minister the Right Honourable Gaston Brown said, quote, "To remove all doubt, there has never been any request or action by my government to remove or reassign or deport any member of the judiciary. Questions concerning the tenure, assignment, or conduct of a judicial officer are governed by the Constitution and the law, and those arrangements will be respected," end quote. He has also made it clear that his position is not about controlling the courts. He continues to argue that serious offenses, particularly gun crimes and repeat offending, require tougher sentences. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister posted on his personal Facebook page today, quote, "Don't waste your time seeking an apology. None will be forthcoming. I said what I said. Deal with the substantive issue of lenient sentences for repeat offenders who commit heinous crimes, which is now a threat to public safety," end quote.
Let's switch gears now. Antigua Distillery is marking the country's 45th year of independence with a special edition of English Harbour rum. The distillery's managing director, Anthony Bento, presented a preview of the bottle to Creative Industries Minister, the Honourable Dwayne George, at the official launch of Independence 2026. The limited edition is expected to be available ahead of the November celebrations. Bento says the distillery has previously marked national milestones with special rums, including the 40th anniversary of independence. He says the 45th anniversary presents another opportunity to link the company's history with that of the country.
And the fact that we do have the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, we thought it very important that Antigua Distillery once again celebrates this great event with the country of Antigua and Barbuda. So we're very proud for this blend. It will be coming out shortly, the next 2 months. My staff, Lisa, Ed, and the tasting team have been very much involved in the tasting and the blends of these rums. This is nothing like anything you've seen from us before.
The 45th Independence will be celebrated under the theme Renaissance, rooted in pride, bounded by prosperity for all.
Developing this evening, the management of Amalgamated Security Services Limited, ASSL, is facing damning allegations this evening from several of their employees. Well, workers have outlined a slew of allegations which they say must be urgently addressed, even as they move to get unionized. They are decrying what they say are victimization and abuse. As well, this evening there's also a response from the management of the company, as our Wakiba Parisiu now reports.
Disgruntled security officers attached to Amalgamated Security Services Limited have raised several concerns regarding transportation challenges, delayed payments, and what they say is victimization and abuse of power. They also report being removed from schedules, being moved from assignments without proper explanation, as well as intimidation and unfair treatment. They also allege that workers are expected to conduct company business without proper transportation or a company vehicle and face disciplinary action when they cannot meet those requirements. One former employee also alleges she was terminated after attempting to share her concerns with the company's Trinidad-based headquarters. Since then, ABS News understands several employees have begun the process of seeking union representation. General Manager Daniel Knight says, having come into the role some 5 months ago, several efforts have been made to transform the organization.
200 plus employees. It's a challenge to meet every single person's specific need as much as we may try to, and we do so in relation to what is both morally and legally our obligation so to do.
Work to address the employees' concerns, he says, is ongoing, but these matters, he explains, are dealt with individually.
Each situation and each case is different and unique and has to be on a case-by-case basis, so it's not a broad-based general statement that can be made with respect to what is happening. And equally, we're actually relooking the schedule and the roster to see that all officers who are duly required and are able can work meaningfully. But all these things take time.
Recently, one employee was photographed sleeping at her assigned location following the conclusion of her shift. That's because there was no transportation available to take her home.
I can't speak to the details. I mean, it was an unfortunate situation. We would have already addressed the breakdowns operationally, and that would not recur going forward.
As the company asks for patience, employees are calling for government intervention to have their labor concerns addressed with urgency. Rakib Aparisi reporting for ABS News.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister for Labour, the Honourable Sir Stedroy Benjamin, says his office has not yet been contacted on the matter. However, he is encouraging the workers to contact the Labour Department if they need assistance in mediating that matter.
Some feel-good news now. Lania Bino is the 2026 Fempreneur Fund awardee. Bino was awarded by the Caribbean Women in Leadership Antigua and Barbuda National Chapter on Thursday evening at Wetherills Resort.
I look forward to what this can do for me and my business, but not just that, what it can do for the community, what it can do for other women and other aspiring entrepreneurs, because you really can start with nothing and you can become something much bigger. So thank you again to the team at Civil.
All right, when we come back, we'll take you to more of the stories that we're tracking. But before that, here's a quick programming note. Be sure to join us next Monday, the 17th of August, for another edition of Antigua Barbuda Today. Some of the guests you'll be hearing from are on your screen. The program starts at 6, ends at 9. The most insightful way to start your day. Up next, more of the stories that we're closely tracking this evening, including this one.
Well, 6 Antiguans and Barbudans, Garfield, have been recognized for their commitment to their communities as National Youth Week 2026 comes to a close. So we're going to tell you all about that when we come back. And what's coming up in sport, Garfield?
So much to talk about in sports because as we speak, the Antigua Barbuda Falcons taking on the St. Lucia Kings. But we'll talk about that, of course, coming up. But also this story that you're looking at, several players and coaches of Soccer Academy left the island on Thursday for Future Pro Academy in the UK. We'll be hearing from them as they are bullish on the prospects upcoming in sports. But first, the break ahead of more national news, including as well the weather report and forecast. You can't afford to miss that coming up.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
From the richness of the Caribbean soil
fresh, pure, naturally powerful.
From wholesome roots to irresistible crunch. Made for your kitchen, your business,
your lifestyle.
Export quality, Caribbean grown.
Crispa, real Caribbean, real flavor. Available now.
From Boosted Seeds, I carry no cash. I tap and pay. I'm done in a flash.
Adventure is done. We grab a bite. I tap my card. It feels just right.
We booked our trip and paid with ease. Checked my rewards. Upgrade, yes please.
Paid it online while out with the crew. Tap for drinks. It's easy to do.
They tap, I drive. It's quick, it's clear. No counting cash or waiting here.
I use my card to keep things smooth. And my rewards? Wow, they really move.
ACB Visa Credit Card. My life, my card, my rewards. Get yours today. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. 6 Antiguans and Barbudans have been recognized for their commitment to their communities as National Youth Week 2026 comes to a close, Garfield.
Indeed, Nicola, it's a fantastic story now because dubbed the Significant Six, Bishop Charlesworth Brown, Terry Blanchett, Tanya Ambrose, Aaliyah Green, Crown Counsel Zachary Phillips, and Campbell Kurtz received their Humanitarian Spirit Awards earlier this week.
Well, they have received awards for their advocacy work and contributions to social welfare and development of residents across this country.
Well, the 2026 National Youth Week ended earlier this afternoon with a yoga session at Runaway Beach.
Well, congratulations to all.
Indeed.
All right, more news now because international cosplayer Tropic Fox says she's already enjoying her first time here in Antigua. The Los Angeles-based prop maker and performer arrived on the island yesterday ahead of her appearance as a guest judge of the Anucon Masquerade competition tomorrow at the John E. St. Louis Center. She learned of Anucon through social media.
I just came across Anucon on social media and it instantly piqued my interest. I was like, I've never heard of Anucon, and I've never even been to Antigua, nor have I even heard of it before I even came here. And so I was like, how have I not known about this?
Tropic Fox says she cannot wait to see what Antiguans and Barbudans will bring to the competition and their level of artistry, pointing out that what cosplaying is all about.
For me, it's a huge show of just self-expression and being able to interact with other cosplayers and artists and just find that common ground in the community that I really enjoy, because you get to see so much creativity. People make so much of their own things, and it's really impressive what people come up with. Like, they'll build whole cosplays, whole props, everything, and some people will mix and match and they'll create whole new characters.
Well, the competition asks its participants to embody the dynamics of their favorite character and or reenact a scene from a single fandom for 30 to 60 seconds. Judging will be based on their costume, craftsmanship, and performance. And the winner of the competition will not only be able to walk away with bragging rights, but a championship belt.
We'll keep across that story as well. Let's take a sort of a look at national developments. Up next, the weather report and forecast, and Orvin Page is here. Nicola, I'm pretty sure that every one of our viewers is certainly listening with bated breath and hanging on to Orvin's every word, because we're expecting some rain this weekend. Orvin, good evening to you. What are we looking at based on these two tropical disturbances?
Good evening, Orvin.
Thanks to Garfield, Nicola, and all of you joining us here at ABS Television. Certainly a lot has been happening. We have been tracking activities in the Atlantic Ocean. There was a tropical wave that has been poised to come through, much stronger, packing more winds and rain, etc. But we have seen some developments over the last 24 hours. You will have to stay with us. Lots to unpack. Right after this break, we'll get right into it.
The weather report is brought to you by Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection.
When the skies are clear and the winds are calm, we often forget how unpredictable Mother Nature can be. But when a hurricane strikes, it's the strength of your home that matters most. Whether you are preparing for your first storm or looking to upgrade your current protection, Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection has got you covered. Our expert team handles everything from custom design to professional installation, ensuring your home is as strong as it is beautiful. Call today for a free consultation. Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection, built strong to weather any storm.
And welcome back. We have been tracking AL92 across the Atlantic Ocean, moving towards the west. This area of disturbed weather at one time had an 80% chance of development into a tropical cyclone, both at 48 and 7 days, 48 hours and 7 days. However, this area encountered quite a bit of hostile conditions, dry air, as well as strong upper level winds, creating shearing, which is a disruption to the thunderstorm activity and the convective activity within this wave. This afternoon and early evening, we are identifying here the remnants or the rather weak convective activities associated with AL92. This afternoon, it moved across portions of Barbados and mainly producing gusty winds, even of the order of 38 to 40 knots, and producing some showers as well. As this area continues to move towards the west, several implications are there for us here in Antigua and Barbuda. And our next graphic will just take a little bit of closer look in terms of the convective activity. You will notice a lot of it displaced towards the northeast because this is a result of the shearing that's taken place, moving a lot of the convective activity, displacing it further, or them rather, further towards the northeast. We do anticipate some of this convective activity to move across Antigua and Barbuda, mainly daybreak tomorrow and rolling into the greater part of tomorrow, Saturday. And it has a few implications for us in terms of winds, water, and waves. Let's break it down a little bit. In terms of winds, noting what would have taken place across some of the islands, Barbados in particular, where we had some wind gusts of the order of 40 knots, it is quite reasonable for us to anticipate winds of the order of 18 to 30 miles per hour, with some gusts up to 40 miles per hour. This means that tomorrow is going to be windy. There's a high wind advisory in place, which means that residents will have to secure loose objects. We know tomorrow is a big commercial day for small businesses with tents, etc. You have to ensure that your tents are secure because these kinds of winds could cause some disruptions to your activities. So this is what we're expecting in terms of the winds. In terms of water or rainfall, we are expecting anywhere between half of an inch to maybe an inch of rainfall. And this is quite conservative. Well, this is rather maybe overestimating because this area hasn't been producing as much rainfall as we anticipate, and you will notice, and with the latest slide, it is getting weaker because it's in a hostile environment, lots of Sahara dust, as well as the upper-level winds causing some shearing. If we get any rain from this, it will be in spurts, and we could see anywhere between half of an inch to an inch of rainfall, and this is if the convective activity pushes as far north. Some models are suggesting it will not, but we are hopeful we could get some rainfall. And finally, in terms of the last W, we looked at winds, we looked at water. What about the waves? We anticipate anywhere between 8 to 12 feet in terms of wave actions across the coastlines. And so we want mariners to stay in port for the next 24 hours just to be on the safe side because seas are rather hazardous at the moment. So we'll go through tonight. Today we had 33 degrees Celsius, 91 Fahrenheit. Notice the winds were quite up and gusting 15 to 25 miles per hour. Our rainfall total still a paltry less than 1 inch for the month and on the partly cloudy skies. Tonight we'll see just about a 50% chance of showers, mainly after midnight. The winds are going to be up, temperatures down to around 25 degrees Celsius. Come tomorrow, as we mentioned, cloudy. There's a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and the high temperature around 32 Celsius, 88 Fahrenheit. Winds up 18 to 30 miles per hour. Your sunrise and sunset times are listed. We mentioned the seas, 8 to 12 feet. Mariners stay in port. Winds over open waters, 20 to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow is not a good time to go to the beach because winds are going to be up. So, as we close, the key messages. Notice the winds are going to be quite up. Tomorrow will be windy. High wind advisory in play. Make sure that you secure your tents, etc. for persons who are going out to ply their trade. Rainfall, we could see up to an inch, but still hopeful. Most of the convective activity displaced down towards the south, and the seas are up to 8 to 12 feet. So we are tracking what's happening in the Atlantic. This not expected to produce as much as previously anticipated. There's another wave behind of it that could move off to the north, Garfield and Nicola. That is sometime on Tuesday, but for the most part, still going to be windy. Let's hope we get some showers out of this one. Calixtus, back to you.
Well, it seems as though we're going to have to be doing that rain dance once again. Yeah.
All right. So some expected. We hope that it is as much as is possible from the system. It's been choked, Orvin. It's absolutely choked by the dry air. which is just to the east of the archipelago of islands there. So we'll monitor that very closely. I suppose that's a kind of good thing for us because it prevents any major development of the cyclone or cyclonic development, but it also perhaps does its job too effectively because it's even choking it from getting rain from it, really.
Yes. Meanwhile, the drought conditions continue, Garfield. We really need some rain, and the forecast is for it to get even worse in the next couple of months, with El Nino being forecast to get even stronger.
Wow, it's already Super El Nino. Thank you so much, Orvin. Really appreciate it. Orvin Page, a very comprehensive weather report and forecast. So now you know what your weekend weather looks like. Tomorrow might be windy and spurts of showers. We shall see how that one pans out. Also watch the waves as well. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to news overseas, one of the stories that we're tracking closely. It's a major developing story because we have been tracking a story over the past few weeks and months in relation to the appointment of Dr. Carla, or the reappointment of Dr. Carla Burnett as CARICOM Secretary General. The CCJ was asked to give an advisory opinion on it. Now, the CARICOM Chairman, Philip J. Pierre, has informed and updated his Trinidad and Tobago counterpart, Kamla Prasad-Bisesar, on that opinion. We'll have the very latest next.
And coming up internationally, Luigi Mangione has pleaded guilty to federal charges related to the killing of United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson in New York. We'll have all of that and more right after the break.
On your mark.
For the mornings you were up before the sun.
Get set.
For the nights you stayed longer than everyone else. And for the moments you pushed yourself beyond what you thought was possible. ECAP is here with you to help you cross the finish line. Introducing the ECAP Game Changers Scholarship, a one-time grant of 25,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars for one exceptional student athlete in track and field, football, or swimming who has received a partial scholarship to study abroad. If you are a resident of Antigua and Barbuda, aged 14 to 21, and entering your first year of study, this is your moment. Get recommended by your coach, write your 500-word essay, and apply today. Visit ecabank.com or email gamechangers@ecabank.com for more information. Applications close August 21st, 2026. The Eastern Caribbean Amalgamated Bank. Our future, our bank.
Regional developments now. St. Lucia's Prime Minister and CARICOM Chair Philip J. Pierre has briefed Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bisesar on efforts to seek an advisory opinion from the Caribbean Court of Justice, that's the CCJ, concerning the appointment of CARICOM Secretary or the reappointment of CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Burnett. Here's more from TTT News.
The leaders focus on collaboration in healthcare and crime-fighting initiatives aimed at improving the safety and well-being of citizens across the region. Prime Minister Pierre also updated Prime Minister Prasad-Bisesar on efforts to seek an advisory opinion from the Caribbean Court of Justice regarding the appointment of the CARICOM Secretary General. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to deeper regional integration and cooperation, expressing confidence that continued collaboration will help build a stronger and more united Caribbean community.
Well, more news now. Let's head to Haiti because Haitian Prime Minister Alex Didier Filzami says the elections will take place this year no matter what, as the Provisional Electoral Council, that's the CEP, has announced the publication of the final list of approved political groups. Well, the CEP has scheduled the first round of long-awaited presidential and legislative elections alongside a constitutional referendum for December 13 this year, marking the first time Haitians will be casting ballots since 2016 when President Jovenel Moïse was elected. Well, Moïse was later assassinated on July 7, 2021. The electoral campaign for the first round is scheduled to begin October 5 and run through December 12. The campaign for the second round is scheduled for January 10 through February 20th, 2027. That's a quick look at regional developments. So when we come back, Garfield has international news.
Reporting live from Caribbean Union Bank's press conference, where bank representatives will address its customers and the media, explaining just how CUB simplifies life through its financing.
Today, my team and I will share with you how CUB's financial solutions are designed to simplify your life. Now let's open the floor for any questions that you may have.
How can you help me as a retiree?
That's a good question. We offer customized retirement solutions at competitive rates.
How easy is it for me to switch my mortgage to CUB?
With attractive interest rates and minimal switching fees, CUB makes switching mortgages easy.
Do you offer point of sale machines?
Absolutely. All point of sale systems can speed up checkout and boost sales.
Those were great questions, and our team is here to further support you. We're Caribbean Union Bank, the bank that cares, and our doors are open to welcome you.
Welcome back. International news now. 28-year-old Luigi Mangione has pleaded guilty to federal charges related to the killing of United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson in New York. Here's more now, because during the court hearing, Mangione admitted responsibility for the shooting, telling the judge, quote, "I shot Mr. Thompson." He delivered his statement in a steady voice as the courtroom remained tense and silent. 50-year-old Thompson was a father of two. He was shot in the back while leaving his hotel in Manhattan in 2024. Following Mangione's guilty plea, Thompson's family said his eventual sentence should reflect the seriousness of what they described as a heinous act. Prosecutor Jamie McDonald also addressed supporters of Mangione, warning that there should be no glorification of the killing. McDonald said Mangione had strong disagreements with the healthcare industry and had attempted to use violence to send a public message. Although Mangione has pleaded guilty to the federal charges, his legal troubles are not over. He continues to face a separate trial in New York State Court over Thompson's death. Mangione had previously pleaded not guilty to those state charges. The federal guilty plea marks a significant development in the case, while the separate state proceedings mean Mangione still faces further legal consequences over Thompson's killing. Well, wildfire has forced hundreds to evacuate in southwestern France. Around 520 residents have been evacuated from France's southwestern Landes region as a fast-moving wildfire continues to spread. The blaze, which began on Thursday, has already burned through more than 1,000 hectares of land, prompting authorities to deploy significant firefighting reinforcements, as France 24 reports.
In a ride-along with firefighters, France 2 journalists captured this footage along a closed road. The destruction is catastrophic, and the blaze is still moving. Once again, the forest in the southwestern area of Landes is on fire. 1,100 hectares were burned overnight despite the deployment of 500 firefighters, and residents were evacuated. This man is in shock after being forced to leave his home with just a few minutes' notice. He took what was most precious to him.
My ID, my computer, my photos, my childhood mementos, a photo of my parents and my dogs. That's it. My house might burn down.
Residents were already worried Thursday evening, with anxious looks, phone calls to loved ones, and then the official order came down. 500 people must evacuate.
Well, the former University of Cambridge professor at the center of a plagiarism row has been found dead. Jason Arday was found unresponsive at an address in Battersea, South London on Friday afternoon. That's according to emergency services. Metropolitan police officers were called by the London Ambulance Service. A 41-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene, and his next of kin have been informed, according to the force. Arday resigned as a Cambridge professor of sociology of education last week after allegations of plagiarism and questions about some of his achievements. He had denied those claims. In a statement, the Met Police said, quote, "At this time, his death is being treated as unexpected, but is not believed to be suspicious," end quote. Well, that's to take us out of a look at the news from overseas. Nicola, we're tracking so many stories that we're monitoring closely overseas as well. And of course, we'll keep our viewers informed about all those as they continue to unfold. Jason Arday's death continues to dominate quite a few headlines in the UK and Europe as well. And of course, we're monitoring closely. President Trump, meanwhile, he's also asked the Supreme Court to allow work on the ballroom, his ballroom at the White House, to continue. Of course, a lower court had essentially asked the president to stop that work in its tracks. President going to the country's highest court, the Supreme Court, to ask him to continue that, to ask them to allow him to continue that work without congressional approval. The lower court had indicated that the President can't do that without asking Congress first, because the White House is not his. He's essentially a temporary resident of the White House during his presidency. All right, when we come back, we'll turn our attention to news in sports. The Antigua Barbuda Falcons taking on the St. Lucia Kings as we speak. We'll have a live update next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Hadid Dental Clinic, where your oral health and beautiful smile are our top priority. We utilize state-of-the-art technology, like advanced panoramic X-rays, for precise diagnostics. Our experienced team is dedicated to providing comprehensive dental care, from routine checkups and restorative procedures, to enhancing your smile with professional teeth whitening. At Hadid Dental, we embrace innovation, like advanced intraoral scanning for accurate digital impressions, ensuring the highest quality and efficiency in your treatment. Whether it's complex procedures or detailed imaging, our commitment is to your lasting oral health. Hadid Dental Clinic. Your smile, our priority. Visit us today.
And you're done. Oh my God, this looks so nice. You are a magician, girl. Tell me, how much I have for you again? $150? Okay. I only have $130. I went to the gas station this morning. No worries, I have eCab Tap to Pay. I can use my Android phone or Android tablet to receive payments. Okay, girl, let me look my card. I absolutely love the fact that you're with the times. Thank you. Yes, girl.
Call eCab at 480-6186 or email cardservices@ecabank.com to apply for a Tap to Pay feature.
Welcome back. Here's a quick look at the sporting developments now. Let's take you first to St. Lucia, where the St. Lucia Kings are hosting the Antigua and the Barbuda Falcons in the 7th match of the Caribbean Premier League. That's the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League, the CPL. And at this time, the Falcons are struggling to soar. They are facing significant turbulence because the Kings have managed to peg them back. The Antigua Barbuda Falcons asked to bat are 46 for 5 in the 8th over. 46 for 5, so half of the side already dismissed in the 8th over. So far, Matthew Ford has been the main destroyer of the Falcons. He's taken 3 wickets, 3 for 17 from his 3 overs, a wicket apiece for Joshua Bishop and Captain Roston Chase. So the St. Lucia Kings having it all their own way. 47 for 5, the Antigua Barbuda Falcons asked to bat at Groza Lane, St. Lucia. They're now 47 for 5 in the 8th over. 7.4 overs gone. We'll keep you across that match. So, of course, we'll monitor that very closely as well. Meanwhile, 24 hours earlier, it was one-way traffic in Kingston last night as Guyana Amazon Warriors defeated Jamaica Kingsmen by 6 wickets in their opener in the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League. Here's more now, because Warriors captain Imran Tahir opted to field, and it paid dividends as Kingsmen were bundled out for 117 in 19.4 overs. Only opener Reza Hendricks gave some resistance with a 32-ball 40, hitting 2 boundaries and 2 maximums. Captain Rodman Powell made 24 meanwhile, falling for the second straight match on the very next ball after hitting a 6. Mohamed Nabi was front and center of the good work with returns of 4 for 22, while Shamar Joseph and skipper Tahir picked up 2 wickets apiece. Well, Warriors were then led to victory by an undefeated half-century from Shea Hope. He scored 56 not out in 41 balls to take the Warriors home with 35 balls to spare. The win took Amazon Warriors to the top of the table and kept Kingsmen, who have now lost all of their 3 fixtures, at the cellar. More cricket, and Tanzid Hassan Tamim became the first Bangladesh cricketer to score a test century in Australia as the visitors continued to dominate on day 2 in Darwin. BBC Sport reports the opener, playing in just the second test match, hit 101 of 197 balls as Bangladesh closed on 351 for 6, a lead of 153. Australia have never lost the home test to Bangladesh, only losing once to the Tigers in 6 previous tests at Mirpur in 2017. This is the first of a 2-match test series. Football now. Several players and coaches of Soccer Academy left the island for Future Pro Academy in the UK on Thursday. There is excitement among the group as they are eager to experience the higher level of training opportunities, as our Terry Andrew now reports.
The team left the island on Thursday for Future Pro Academy in Coventry with high expectations. The players, along with 2 coaches, will spend 13 days training and developing their skills and game awareness, and also experience Coventry City tackle AS Monaco in a pre-season friendly. Head coach at Soccer Academy, Joey Christopher, says the players will be learning on and off the field.
It's actually our 3rd trip. You know, it's something we want to do annually because what this can do to the other children is to give them a pathway or something to look for in the future. It's not all of them are going to be professional, but this can be a learning experience. And if you check the age that we're sending off, they are young, 14, 13. So what I can do by going up there, they will see what it takes to become a pro.
Some of the players and a parent tell ABS Sports about their expectations.
I think when we got up there, it's just about us getting an exposure and learning. We're not really learning, but building on some of the basic skills we had already. At the same time, I'm just looking to get my name out there, not really go anywhere as yet. I'm still young, I still have time, most of us still have time.
For me to perform good, learn a couple new things, improve on my strengths and weaknesses, and I will just have a fun time.
For the young footballers that are growing up with me, I hope that they take in whatever they can, what the coach is showing them, that they increase their level of play, that they're more versatile players, that they can adapt to any system that they're being played under.
They are good enough, they are confident enough that they're able and that they can see this as a pathway to future development in terms of the sport of football and for them to become professionals. I would hope that they will be scouted. All of them I'm looking at because they have the ability and they have the confidence.
Terry Andrew, ABS Sports.
Tennis now. Iga Swiatek secured her first WTA title of the season with a straight set victory over Elena Rybakina in the final of the Canadian Open on Thursday. The 6-time Grand Slam winner was cheered on by the crowd in Toronto as she beat world number 2 Rybakina 6-2, 6-3. Meanwhile, in the men's final, 5th seed Ben Shelton secured back-to-back Canadian Open titles with a 6-3, 7-6 victory over fellow American Brandon Nakashima. The All-American final was the first at ATP Masters 1000 level since Andy Roddick beat Marty Fish in Cincinnati in 2003. Shelton is the first Canadian Open winner since Novak Djokovic in 2016 to win the tournament without dropping a set, and also the first player since Rafael Nadal in 2019 to successfully defend the title. And here's a look now at the NBA, because former NBA most valuable player Russell Westbrook, the league's triple-double king, has decided to step away after 18 seasons in the league. Sharif Sargent reports.
The 37-year-old point guard posted an enigmatic farewell video narrated by actor Michael B. Jordan and captioned, "You had to be there, and now it's over." Westbrook, a 9-time NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist, twice led the league in scoring. He spent 11 seasons with the Oklahoma City Thunder, teaming with Kevin Durant and James Harden to win the Western Conference title in 2012 before falling to the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. He earned MVP honors with the Thunder in 2017. That season, he broke Oscar Robertson's venerable record for triple-doubles in a regular season, amassing 42 games with double-digit totals in 3 key statistical categories. Robertson's record of 41 triple-doubles had stood since the 1961-62 campaign, and Westbrook broke it in a spectacular fashion on April 9, 2017, with his third 50-point triple-double of the season. He holds the NBA record for most career triple-doubles with 209, having surpassed Robertson's long-standing mark with his 182nd in 2021. He is one of only 3 players in NBA history, along with Robertson and Denver star Nikola Jokic, to average a triple-double over a season. Westbrook has done it in 4 campaigns. Since departing Oklahoma City, Westbrook had played for the Houston Rockets, Washington Wizards, Los Angeles Lakers, LA Clippers, and Denver Nuggets before signing a 1-year deal with Sacramento last season. Westbrook averaged 20.9 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game over his career. Sharif Sargent, ABS Sports.
True, thanks. You're an NBA fan, aren't you, Nicola?
No, I'm
you don't?
actually...
Not a basketball?
Football, but I don't dislike basketball, but yeah.
Not a big fan?
Not a great fan.
I see. All right, but you
I respect the game.
Okay, fair enough. All right, a quick update from Groseland, St. Lucia. St. Lucia Kings hosting the Antigua Barbuda Falcons. The Falcons continue to struggle to soar. In fact, their wings essentially for now have been clipped. 50 for 6 they are after 9 overs. So almost at the halfway mark, and already more than half the side dismissed. 50 for 6. So far, the top scorer for the Falcons has been Rakeem Cornwall with 26. There is also 16 from Tajinder Singh. Those are the only 2 batters to be in double figures. So 50 for 6. Asked to bat, the Falcons struggling against the St. Lucia Kings. That's it for the news. Really appreciate the company. Jamie J. Roche returns at 10. I'm Garfield Burford. Pleasant evening, pleasant day.
I'm Nicola Barito. Have a great night.